Brazil, Peru, and Colombia currently have the highest proportional death rates for COVID-19 in all of Latin America. The situation in the summer of 2021 has been particularly dire, with a surge of refugees, increased political differences, and strained resources. Facing a potential third wave in the fall, the governments of Brazil, Peru, and Colombia are trying to manage the stage of the pandemic as best they can. But while all three countries have high fatality rates, the road to this point was very different for each of them, and their decisions going forward may differ as well. In the summer of 2020, President Bolsonaro of Brazil made international headlines for downplaying the severity of the pandemic.
But Bolsonaro played down the risks, saying his history as an athlete would protect him, saying the virus would be nothing more than a little flu.
But in July of 2020, he admitted that he himself had contracted the coronavirus. President Bolsonaro's response was met with heavy criticism by the people of Brazil. His government's delayed health response was lethal for many citizens and resulted in shortages of ventilators, oxygen, and medicines. Brazil has seen 20.6 million cases of COVID-19, and 576,000 Brazilians have died during the pandemic. However, despite the increased death rates, Bolsonaro's government has not significantly changed their policies. Brazil's slow vaccination campaign may point to another devastating third wave in the fall. Bolsonaro and the president of Peru during the beginning of the pandemic couldn't be more different in how they reacted. Despite widespread corruption, political quagmire, and a lack of resources, President Vizcarra of Peru instituted lockdowns and social distancing fairly immediately. COVID-19 testing under his presidency was the most comprehensive and widespread in the region. However, the Peruvian National Congress was not aligned with Vizcarra's leadership. In October of 2020, he was impeached by the Congress for being mentally or morally unfit for office. After the impeachment of Vizcarra, Peru has seen 3 successive presidents in less than a year. Most recently, President Pedro Castillo's administration has dealt with severe political protests over the changes in office and resource shortages. Amid this political and social chaos, Peru has experienced 2.14 million cases of COVID-19, and the pandemic has taken more than 180,000 lives. Going into the fall, unless Peru's political challenges resolve, their situation could worsen. In contrast, with Brazil and Peru, Colombia's COVID-19 response has been fairly stable. Sustained effort to combat the pandemic has been made by President Duque. However, existing problems with corruption in the government, police brutality, unpopular tax reforms, and catastrophic income inequality has severely complicated the health response and its reception. With a surge of refugees and social unrest, government and health officials have lacked the resources to support their communities as well. Colombia has experienced 4.89 million cases of COVID-19, and 124,000 people have died as a result of the pandemic. It is difficult to group the responses of Brazil, Peru, and Colombia together when some were impeded by character, some by politics, and some by circumstance. And yet, the existing challenges common to so many South American governments were present during this crisis in all three. Despite the differences in their responses and situations, the impact of COVID-19 in Brazil, Peru, and Colombia will be felt for many years to come, and potentially most strongly in the fall of 2021.